Hello friends, in my last video I show you how to use a basic Git commands, and that video was basically for a beginner who has no idea what is Git and what is Git commands. So if you haven't checked that video, I will suggest you go and check that video to get familiar with the basic Git commands. And in this video I will mainly show you how you can use a Git repository. So in my last video I didn't show you how we can push our code into the GitHub repository. So in this video I will show you how you can easily push your code in the GitHub repository using a secure shell. So if you don't know what is secure shell, maybe you can go and Google it about the SSH. But in simple term, it's simply a network protocol that gives user a secure way to access a computer. So in this video I'll show you how we can use a secure shell connection between our machine and the GitHub repo, so that you don't need to enter your user credential again and again when you are pushing your code into the GitHub repository. So without any delay, let's start this video. So guys, first we need to create a GitHub account. For that you need to go to Chrome browser or any browser and say GitHub, and let's go to github.com and you can sign up, and you just need to fill up your like details like email address, and it will ask for some of the other details. And once you fill up, you can simply log in. So since I have already created the GitHub account, so I won't show you the process because it's very simple and you can easily do that. But once you have the GitHub account, you need to just log in. So once you log into your GitHub account, you need to create a repository. So create repository and give some name for your repository. I'll say website, and I'll add readme file, and I'll just create repository. So this will create a repository naming website in my GitHub account. Alright, so first guys, we will clone this project into our local. So go to the code and let's clone it through SSH. So you can see there is a one message that say you don't have any public SSH keys in your GitHub account. So, and we need to add a new public key. Okay, right. So as I mentioned, we will be using SSH and not HTTPS. And for SSH, we need to set up the public and private key. So let's jump into the Git bash and let's create those keys. So let's type SSH keygen TRSA and enter. Right, so it has created a key for us. So let's go and check this folder. So let me go into that folder, which is C user Sanj and .ssh, right? Okay, so when you go when you check this folder, you will see there are two files. So the one with the extension .pub, which is a public key, and this one is our private key. So what we need to do is we need to copy the public key and we need to set that public key in our GitHub repo. So that way we will have the public key in our repo and we already have got our private key. So That way we can use the SSH connection, like when we need to clone the project from GitHub into our local. So let's do that. So I did open with Notepad, copy this key, and let's go to GitHub. Let's go to setting, and let's add new SSH key. Right, and let's give some title. Let me say Sanz SSH key. You can name anything. Okay, the another benefit of adding SSH keys, like once you set that key in this repo, then if you create multiple projects, then when you are working with that repo, when you are pushing your code into those repo, you don't need to enter your password, because you have already set up the private and public key. So that way you also save your time, and I think that is also one of the secure way of communication. So now let's jump into our repo again. No, let's jump into the command, and wait, so let's jump into our repo again. So let's go back into our repository, which is the website. So the next thing we need to do is the clone. So if you now go to SSH, you will see that message that was appearing before, we can't see that message anymore. And the next step is to just copy. Let's copy this one using missing, and let's go to the git bash again, and let's say we want to clone that project over here within this C drive, dev folder, and in our project folder. So the command is git clone, and just paste that command. So now when you click enter, it will simply clone the project from your GitHub into your local. So it's cloning into the website. Are you sure you want to connect to? Yes. Right. So if you list now, you have website. Right. And let's do something. So let's say we create a new branch, and let's call that branch a develop branch. Now we are in a develop branch, as you can see over here, and let's add a new file. Let's say echo my name is Sanz, and let's put it into about us.html. Now we have about us one, so let's add it. Git status, and let's commit this file, adding about us now at the moment, this file and this branch is only created in our local, but we want to push this file as well as we want to push this branch into our GitHub repo. For that, you just need to run this command git push origin and develop, and that way it will create the develop branch also in our GitHub repository, and it will also push the commits that we have and that we did on the develop branch into that GitHub repo. So let's try and let's see. So the one way to check, if we have created the branch and the origin is true, git branch, and A stands for all. So you can see in remote, so these are our local branches, so main and develop, and the star indicating the current branch we are working in a develop branch. And you can see over here the remotes. So remotes are the like branches that are created in our GitHub repo. So you can see the develop and main branch, and we can check that by going into GitHub again, and let's refresh the site, and you can see this new branch develop, right? And if you switch to this branch, you will see this new file over here, right? So you can see like how we can easily like push our code from our local into the GitHub repo using the command line. And I hope you learned something today. I can do more, but this video is just to give you a very basic idea of pushing your code from local into the GitHub. So I don't want to make this video long, so trying to make this video short as possible so that you have just a general idea of using a GitHub and using SSH secure shell method to have a connection between your local and GitHub. And I hope you like my video, and if you think this video is useful, please share this video with your friends and give thumbs ups, and please subscribe my channel, and I will see you soon in my next video.